Welcome back everyone to the complete Pineleaf. I have found Mossbeard, the next of the ends. Baralus? He and the others still walk this wood? Home. I will return in my own time, little one, but there are a great many things to tend to nearby, and much of my own curiosity to be quelled. Listen, and perhaps you will understand my plight. Ah, they all have their little plights. And just what do we need to tend to? Home. If Baralus wishes me to return to the others, I shall. However, I will do it in my own time. Home. There are many things to tend to before I leave these trees, and many grim things that inhabit this forest, in the monster's wake. I wish to know more of the monster, and if I can, bring such knowledge to the others. Should you wish to aid me in these errands, I may be able to return to Paralis in some matter of time that you might think hasty. As we travel, I shall speak with the trees of the wood and try to discover what has become of those I have lost in the fog. If I am not paying attention at times, do not be alarmed. I am simply deep in conversation. Well, little one, shall we be off? Shall we be off? I suppose we'll be off. Oh my goodness gracious. Are on ent to bring around. Can you hear that, Pineleaf? The trees cry out in the distance, fearful of orcish blades that have already felled others. So many have been hewn. To what end? So let's confront the orcs and destroy their axes. You read this a little hasty, little one. Look at what's become of Fangorn. So much as a forest smothered in snow. I do not know what the cost of the winter shall be. The trees are strong enough, at least those that were not in the monster's path, and the ones not cut down by the orcs, but the other greenery is not as hardy, and I fear it will succumb under the cover of snow. So uncover frozen plants in the balewood. Gotcha! Now, let us be off. Does this mean that if I run to a troll, the ent is going to bash it? Let's see how this ent does in the vicinity of a troll. Well, I don't know. Now let's see if we can find any of these axes or these orcs with axes or whatever I'm looking for. Ooh, what's this? Anything under here? Ah, well, it's hoping a plant. So if we can find a few more of these, then we can get through here. But there also unfortunately have trolls guarding some of them. What, you're trying to make sure that the little plants don't get uncovered or something? Sounds like something. He's trolling me. That's it. He's trolling me. Ah! I found an axe. There was an orc attached to it. But I'm sure that killing two orcs with one spear is perfectly acceptable. Well, alright, probably not the ideal metaphor there. There you go. Now, what do I do here? Okay, I pick up the axe there, pick up the axe there, and ah, and destroy the axe, right? And another one. 2 axes down. 6 more to go. I think we've dealt with those blades. These orcs have chopped away at far too much of the forest, felling many of my friends home. The least we can do is strip them of their weapons so that no others suffer that fate. Looks like we also stripped them of their lives, though, so the orcs won't do too much trouble with that. Such tiny things are ill prepared for these harsh conditions. Yeah, these orcs are a little harsh too. However, you have done well to return them to the sunlight that finds its way through the fog. Yeah, you're welcome. Whee! Kin of Wildermore. Yay! So what now? As we have journeyed, little one, the trees have spoken to me of many things. They are not as they once were. I feel their fear, and we're drawn closer to the hill above. I sense that the White Hand's encampment cannot be far. However, should that be true, I am filled with dread. An elder horn, one of the mightiest of his kind, once lived atop that hill. Either he is gone from this wood, or some terrible fate may have befallen him. An elder horn. Alright, examine the strange ice flow into Finglass's mead. Aha. Old roots. An elder horn has disappeared, and we need to find out his fate. One wonders. Oh, does he have something else he wants to say? No. Ooh, what's this thing? Let's check this out. See what's going on here. An unnatural ice. What once appears to be a waterfall has slowed to a jagged, frozen wall. Is it possible to get up? Oh my goodness gracious, this looks nasty and hard to climb. Is there another climbing spot anywhere around here? How about up this way? No. This, I think, is going to take me a while. I think I found a way up here. Oh. Oh, this is where it was before. You see what appears to be a branch on the ledge across the way. Oh, yes, I see a branch up there. Am I supposed to reach that branch? Oh, look at the fallen branches. The branches appear to actually be roots of a larger tree discarded from above. Ooh, right? Oh, that's going to be fun. Ooh, my. What have we got here? Nothing remains near the Elder Horn's old home, save for a younger frozen horn. Oh, it's not the Elder Horn. Well, what could this mean? A horn frozen to the earth? What other horrors have the orcs and Nurzum visited upon this forest? Wait, little one. With what little life remains, the horn is trying to speak with me. Brutal slain Pineleaf. We must return to the others at once. As we travel, I will tell you more of what the Horn has seen, my friend. But we must haste to Stone Cliff. Haste to Stone Cliff. Not long ago, the forest spread wide and healthy, unfettered by the assaults of orcs and Nearsum. Those who dwelt within were mighty and took root amongst one another. One of the greatest of the horns in all of Fangorn, Bruderon, once dwelt where the White Hand's camp now stands. I am sure you think you know the ending of the story, little one, for there is no mistaking what you would have seen at my side. However, the trees have spoken to me of a darker things, and though hewn, Bruderon's story is far from over. Before we can return to Baralas to speak of Bruderon's fate, you must first understand how the Horn met its end, and how the cowardice of orcs has shaped this forest and beyond ever since that day. Whew.
After conversing with the trees of Balewood, Mossbeard has learned horrifying truths of Nurzum's origins and the fate of the Elder Horn, Brundoron.
Viler truths have seldom been known, Pineleaf. The others must know of these happenings soon, but you must understand as well if you're to continue to aid us. Whom? Where the orc camps now lies once stood a bold horn, one of the very greatest in the forest. My memories of those days are as clear as ever they have been, but they are tainted by the knowledge I have gained from the trees. Come, let me tell you of the horn's fate. Oh, is this going to be one of those where I'm going to have to try to read quickly? I have learned a great many things from the trees, Pineleaf. Many things were as I feared, and some were worse yet. I have much to tell, and little time to tell it, so let us begin. Deep in these woods there once lived a great horn called Bruderon. A more well-behaved horn than most, Leaflock's tending was never much needed, and its roots grew thick. Bruderon took root, unbothered by the affairs of ensign men, but pursuits of the orcs were not so easily ignored. And so came the day the orcs invaded. Bruderon had long been dormant, but the time has come to an end. We made it, boys! We're close enough to the camp's forest edge now. We can make camp here. Once we cut down more trees for the wizard. You make the first cut. We have a cart to back these things to Isengard, to Saruman. Get off! Get off! Ah! What's this? This is no tree. You lot, get in there and hack it down before I crush it myself. Run back and tell the others to get here. We're needing more. Okay, I guess that's Bruderon. Yeah. Well, you don't have to tell me twice. I guess, yeah, he wanted to get away quickly, I guess. Yeah. Well, let's just... I guess we could kill a couple of these? No, we don't have a line of sight to the targets. Oh well. Just go and watch orcs die, I guess. Uh-oh. Is it dead? The wizard won't like this. Many of our numbers stand, but so many have fallen, and for what? How shall I tell him the tree devastated our forces? Who says you have to tell the wizard? Ha! You're a wise orc. I shall tell him. Many forces took them, and you return to Isengard with the tree. Hmm. Yeah. All right. Return with the tree. I have told you but half of what there is to tell, for the far grimmer tales remain. Let us leave this place and return to Baralus and the others. So you're saying that's not the worst of it? As I have told you, little one, there remains much to be told, but it must wait until we reunite with Baralus and the others. Home! They knew much of Bruderon and the Horn's End, but in times between then and their awakening, they have missed many unsettling details. We must travel to them at once, for both you and the others must know the Horn's fate and the true wrath, unknowing or not, that has been levied upon the forest. Ooh. We have made it back to the other ends. A journey it has been, Pineleaf. Barallas and the others have much to learn of the monster, as do you still. Home. Allow me to gather my thoughts, for this trip has been far more eventful than most things in this Ent's lifetime. Barallas looks as if he wants to speak to you. You should see what he has to tell, and I shall begin to take root here. Hmm. And what does Barallas have to say? Ooh, you have returned with Mossbeard. I knew you would not disappoint us, little one. I'm joyful to look upon him again, but in his eyes I see great distress. Mossbeard wishes to speak with all of us, does he? Well then, let us hear your tale. Completed A Friend of the Woods and Quests in Balewood. Ooh, finally coming to an end of the Balewood quest line. Oh. Completed Quests in Wildermore. New deeds in Wildermore. Oh, fun and joy. I think that the lesson here is don't record quests involving Ents when you're playing a hobbit. You just don't have the height to see the quest rings. And so, little one, Brundoron has taken by the orcs. Nurzum has wandered these woods some time before this happening, you see. Hmm. He was then but a stone giant, and has not much interest in the destruction of any creature of nature. His curiosity of the men was his only real reason for venturing into Wildemore. But when he was grievously wounded and chased from their lands, the other Ents and I thought him gone from the forest. Such things never come to a resolution simply with you creatures, do they? Hmm. Yet one day, Nirzum returned, and this time he was not alone. and what happened with Nurzun's return? We have to find that out in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.